back to day 2 of the Advent calendar from Brutus Monroe. Today, day 2. I love this packaging. Trying these, like I said, not tear it too much. If I can use some of it in a card, I will. I think it's fun. Go very gentle. Oh, look at that. I got it. Maybe I can even get the whole sticker off this time. All right, I'm going to stick that on to my glass mat for now. All right, day 2 is a stamp. Oh my gosh, look at how cute this stamp is. Let me grab a piece of paper. It is an ugly sweater, and it says, knit happens, embrace the ugly. So we are totally making an ugly sweater card with this. I'm going to go grab some supplies, and we will get back. We're going to use the sentiment and the stamp. I just need to grab some other supplies to go put with it, and I will be right back. Okay, I went and found a die from my stash. This is a Spellbinders die. I'm going to go ahead and, it's an older die. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. We're going to use this as our focal point. This is some Perfect One paper. We're going to stamp our image down on and get that done. So I also have some red cardstock here. That needs to be about 3 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want this to dry, basically, is what I'm going to do. I pulled out this warm, let's double check the name here. Winter Weave stencil. It came with our gnome release back in October, I think, end of October. Anyway, it's this 2-piece layering stencil, and I'm going to go ahead and tape this down to my desk, if I can find some tape. So I'm going to tape this down to my desk here, well, maybe. And I'm going to go ahead and add my stencil. I'll grab some magnets, or I'm going to tape it down too. And then I'm going to use some alabaster ink to make the pattern. So I got a dauber here, and I'm just going to go ahead and daub it off like this. And this is going to be kind of like a pattern of a paper for us, an extra pattern paper. You could do this in a couple different colors, but I am going to do it in the white. And then what else I'm going to do, I'm not doing it super dark white. You could heat emboss this with white embossing powder. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a piece of tape here. Just a regular old piece of tape. And I'm going to put it down here. And I mean, I should have used my stick and stamp mat. That would have helped more, but I didn't grab it. So I've already started recording. So I'm gonna stick that down like this. And this is just gonna help it line up a little bit more. This is a fairly easy stencil lineup, so it doesn't need to be perfect. But go ahead and pull that off. That's layer 1. And then layer 2, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put it back in that corner. And like I said, I can kind of see it. Now I'm trying to be a little careful because that pigment ink is wet behind it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the second layer. I do have one that I set aside to dry. That I did in advance because pigment ink takes a little bit longer to dry, and I didn't want to necessarily have to heat set it or anything, so I thought I would do one ahead of time. And it will, as it dry a little bit darker. So go ahead and pull this off. And I will show you, see what that fun pattern is. I'll bring that up a little closer. Fun, fun, fun. And through the magic of television, here is the dry version. So like I said, you can see this one is a little bit darker. So I'll put this one off now to dry. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my space here with a little squeaky clean. I'll get that extra pigment ink off of my desk. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the same label in a little bit bigger shape and die cut this out, and I will be right back. Okay, next we're going to take this little piece here. I'm thinking about stamping it at the corner, and then we'll stamp the sentiment. Knit happens. Maybe on another piece. So let's get this in our, like I said, this is the perfect blend paper. Put that here. Thinking I'm gonna put this just at an angle a little bit. And then when we do it, we can put our sentiment on maybe a piece of red paper and black. So let's do that just a little bit. Just wanna make sure my magnet's out of the way. Grab a piece of Raven ink. Or no, I'm sorry, Raven Detail ink. I'm gonna stamp that down. Now this is the first time I'm using these stamps, so I may have to stamp a couple of times just to get a good impression. I'm gonna color these in with some Olo markers. And I may leave it right in my, no, I'm not. We're just gonna go for it. We're gonna take it out. Sometimes I like to stamp it over again, but I'm probably not gonna do that this time. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to take a piece of this same red cardstock. I'm just going to snip off a little section here so that I don't have to move my stamp. And we're going to put this down over here, and we'll stamp our sentiment on it. And then I can cut that out with my paper trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it kind of, see if I got it kind of straight. Fortunately, I can use my paper trimmer, and I'll show you how I do that to make sure that it's straight. Knit happens. Embrace the ugly. I love it. So each day I am, like I said, I am going to try to use some of the same items other than maybe some stencils and dies. Same papers, same colors, things from the box, so that is. However, anything that is available for purchase, I will put down below with links. Those will be affiliate links, which just means if you happen to place an order using one of those links, I get a small commission from there, and can I get a drink here? And that doesn't cost you anything extra. I'm going to go ahead and speed this video up and color it up in with some Olo markers, or I'm not even sure, just some alcohol markers, probably Olos. Then I will come back when I am all done coloring, and we will start putting our card together. Now, hopefully, you're going to see that it kind of, yeah, so heat setting it there kind of made it a little bubbly, but we will make it work. This is the part that I had trouble with during the Halloween advent calendar, of getting it peeled off. Okay, I've got it dry. Peel off that adhesive. Now, because I also don't have it all the way, I'm going to go ahead and do my best. Let me grab my pick tool here and just hold it. And I'm going to try to add a little bit of adhesive at the top. It may not work because this is so sticky. There's that side. Quickly flip it around. Stick it down because I want obviously I want the edges of my piece. So this is where like I said, I would have done the whole piece. I would have saved myself from having to do that. All right, now I only get one shot at this. So I'm gonna go ahead and stand up here. I'm just gonna eyeball it and go for it. Now there was a seam in the bag and you can kind of see that right there, but I'm okay with that because it adds kind of to the rustic charm. Same with this little spot right here. I'm sure I could go in and put a little liquid glue right there. And I'll show you, we'll just do a little bit of liquid glue. You won't be able to see it on camera, but I'm just eyeballing it with my hands, or with my, just looking to the side and putting it down, and then I just squished it down, see? And that little bubble went away. All right, so there is that. You can do that with any piece. Like there's a spot right here. See where you can see this is the seam between the two pieces. Go ahead and just put a little bit of glue in there, and then I'll use my bone folder to kind of push those together, and that will keep it. There we go. All right. It's a little off. It's okay. It'll work. So then we have this beautiful piece here, and we have our sentiment, and then we have our sentiment, which is going to go right there. So we have just enough space. I think I'm going to move that up a little bit. Move this over just a little. So that looks good. We're going to go ahead and get this all put down. Then I'll grab some gems, of course. Gems will be something that I add in each day. Can't promise I know which ones they are going to be. Just going to eyeball that again. Set this down. You could pop any of this up. I'm going with kind of more flat cards this time. Now this is where I need to make sure I have enough room for my sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and stick it down right about here. And then I'm not going to pop any of this up tonight. Add my sentiment here. Knit happens, embrace the ugly. And then I have my little Cup and Create ruler here that I can kind of check and make sure that it's straight. Or as straight as I can make it. There we go. And then I'm going to grab some gems and we'll finish this card off. Let's see. I think I have some red gems here somewhere. There we go. Grab some red gems. I'll add a few here. And one up there. That'll call it enough. grab them and stick them down. I like to do odd numbers, obviously. I always do. So please stop back tomorrow, and you will see the rest of these over the next few days. I appreciate you. If you like to thumbs up, give me a subscribe, you know, punch or smash the subscribe button if you want to see more from me. I have my blog link down below that will also give you an email when I have an update. I don't post every day, you know. I'm trying to work on at least once a week, but at least when I have a video or a project, so that way you can see them if you want to subscribe to that. But I appreciate y'all so much. You have a great rest of your evening, and come back tomorrow for day 3.